to the final breakout room. My name is Erin Murphy Goodman, and I am the chair of the Discover Fitness Foundation. This is actually going to be my third year as chair, and I'm very excited for the coming year because we have big plans to expand the program across the country and here locally. So I have two board members here with me tonight. I have Priscilla Blossom and Hallie Walton, and they're going to talk to you a little bit about how to get involved, including some committees and the Young Professionals program that Carly was just talking about. But before we get started, we do have a little video to show you some of the events that we've had in the past couple of years. Now, I would not be doing my job as chair if I did not remind you that we cannot operate without your support. So I'm going to once again put into the chat the link to donate and to remind you that donations will be matched tonight. So anything that you do donate will stretch your dollar further. And now I'm going to turn it over to Priscilla and to Hallie. Priscilla is going on her second year on the board, and she is currently serving as vice chair. And Hallie is ending her fourth year on the board. So we're very sad to lose her. She's stepping off this year, but we want to thank her for all of the work that she's done in the last couple of years. So Hallie, take it away.
Thank you, Erin. And it's so good to see everybody tonight. I see a couple of familiar faces, even if on Zoom. So welcome. I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself and how I got involved with the DFF. So I initially found the DFF through a mutual friend and was introduced to Carly. I grew up in gymnastics, and it was always a little tight and challenging for my family to actually pay for gymnastics. So I dropped out before I got to the higher levels because they were pretty pricey. But I just have seen all of the amazing impacts that Carly has helped to orchestrate for some of these kids. And the DFF is such a wonderful organization when it comes to physical mobility, self-discipline, and the ability to socialize with other kids. DFF has just been a wonderful avenue for that via gymnastics. So I have loved being involved and loved getting to know all of the board members over the years. So with that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the committees that we have. One of the most important, which Erin mentioned, is the fundraising committee. So DFF does not survive without you, our donors, and in addition to that, grant money. So we're always looking for new and creative ways to fundraise. So that is one of the committees that we have available that you can volunteer with. Another is our programs committee. So in non-COVID years, typically that includes things like the Texas Classic and planning that gymnastics meet, which is the means of which we gain a lot of our fundraising, and all of the proceeds go directly to the DFF. So that's another way to get involved. It requires a lot of volunteers. It's a very large scale event. In addition to that, if you're interested in joining the board, we do have board development and a committee for that as well. So ideas and ways to develop the board members so that they can better serve the DFF and the community. So historically, that is involved going to the Best Boards Conference at Rice University, which was very challenging and great from a professional development standpoint. So lots of great ways to get involved, and I would love to answer your questions offline even if you have any. And with that, I will give it to Priscilla.
Thank you. So as Erin mentioned, I'm entering my second year on the board, and I'm very happy I have joined. I'm a strong believer that sports are such a big foundation and can teach children so much. And so to be part of an organization that gives athletes the opportunity to continue on to their gymnastics dreams is absolutely amazing. And I couldn't be happier to be part of it. So I'm going to briefly talk about the Young Professionals Group, which is a group that we are launching, that we started to launch this year. COVID did catch us at the start of our launch, so hopefully we can do that next year. But looking to get young professionals involved, bring their new ideas to the board, to the group. Really looking for thinking outside the box for how we can promote the foundation and get our name out there and help with communications and marketing. And it's also a great opportunity to network across industries and to collaborate across industries. I mean, you never know who you're going to meet or what great idea you may come up with next. So if that's something that does interest you, please reach out to Carly. We'd love to have you. Now back to Erin.
And there are some simple ways to get involved as well. Beyond board service and serving on a committee, there are some volunteer opportunities throughout the year. Now, I think Hallie mentioned that the Texas Classic looks a little different this year. It's much smaller and it's going to be in-house at Discover Gymnastics. But in normal non-COVID years, we're always looking for volunteers to help us with that event. And all of the proceeds from that event actually will go straight to the DFF. So that's a great way to get involved and meet people and other board members. Another way is to support the DFF annual fun run, which is happening this year on November the 15th. You can donate directly to the fun run. We had Coach Francisco in our last breakout session, and I know he's busy raising money for the DFF, but that's a great way. You can donate to him, or you can choose to do the run yourself. This year it is virtual. It's a virtual run walk. But you can raise money and that will go directly to the DFF. So those are just some easy ways to get involved if you're not ready to serve on the board. If any of those interest you, like Priscilla said, let Carly know, let me know, send us a chat or an email and we will get you started. So we've got big plans for this year.
Haley and I were number 3 in the fun run two years ago. Fundraising.
That would be my husband. He's very proud of that. So, but we have big plans for the next couple of years. We're going to be expanding not only our board, but the participation in gyms. We're trying to go nationwide. We're already in a couple different states, but we really want to expand this program across the country. So every dollar and every minute of your time goes directly to help these kids in Texas, in Houston, and across the country. So we thank y'all so much for being here tonight and being here in our breakout session. I think we're almost done and they're gonna Zoom us off. But if you have questions, send them in the chat and we'll get them answered. Thank y'all so much.
And I'll also throw out that Francisco has been the #1 fundraiser, I believe, of this race for the past several years. And there's an added bonus if you finish as a top fundraiser. So look into that as well.
Justin is confirming you are correct.
I think it's just taken a while for them to move any other.